Is it possible to guess which wine I'm drinking just by the smell?
Maronaya, a family story behind a bottle.
Hi guys! As you know, I'm Pietro from Podera Maronaya. We are a biodynamic and organic farm in San Gimignano, and some of our wine won also the Merano Wine Hunter Festival. If you want to know all the tricks about the wine world, follow us and subscribe to the channel. So, today we will take a deep dive into the wine aromas, because the question of today is if I can guess which wine I'm drinking just by the smell. This one is probably one of the harder things that you have when you smell a wine. But it's a things that really feel like a master wine when you are with your friends. Imagine to go out with your friends or your girlfriend or your loved one and smell a wine and say, this one is a Chardonnay, or this one is a Pinot Noir, and this one is the reality. It's true. This wine was a Chardonnay, the wine was a Pinot Noir. It's not something that you can guess and try to catch it by many types of wine. It's something that you have to learn how to do it. Let's see what are the basics. For this thing, we have two things. The first one, we have to be trained to doing that. And after, we have to learn how to do that. The training is quite simple. You just have to drink a lot of wine. This one is the best training of the world. The learning part, it's a little bit harder and sometimes could be even a little bit boring. I try to make it simple. So what we have to learn? We have to learn how the flavor of wine works. We have three kinds of flavors. We have the primary that come from the grape. They are the one that interesting us in this step because it is the primary aroma that help us and guide us to identify which wine we have on a glass. So in this case, we can classify the grape in two kinds: aromatic or not aromatic. This one is very important because if we'll smell big primary aromas, we are in front of aromatic grape, like Traminer, Chardonnay. If we smell very soft primary aromas, we are in front of the not aromatic grape, like, for example, our Vernaccia, the Aglianico. They are very soft. This one already gave us an indication and already point our choice with a kind of grape or another kind. After, we have the secondary aroma. In this step are not so important, but it's very important that you learn because you can understand better how the smell works. The secondary aromas are the aromas that we develop during the fermentation. During the fermentation, we develop a lot of aromas, especially in the natural and spontaneous fermentation, like our wines, and even in the champagne. If you have ever tried a champagne wine, once you open a bottle of wine, you will immediately feel the flavor of bread crust. This one is an aroma that came from the East, and it's developed inside the wine during the winemaking, during the fermentation part, because the long exposure to the yeast developed these flavors inside. So it's not directly connected to our mission, but it's quite important. The tertiary aromas are the aromas connected to the aging. As the secondary, they are not important right now, but they are important because you understand all. This one is the flavor of oak, chocolate, vanilla that we develop inside the wine during the aging. This one is the one that can change more because they will change by the time, by the material, how we storage, because even how we storage once the wine is bottled can influence the flavor of the wine. So once we understand how the smell works, we have another important pieces of our puzzle. This one is the aromas of the grape. At the beginning, I tell you that the primary aroma came directly from the grape. And these one are the ones that guide us to pick and to say this wine it's a Sangiovese, this wine it's a... So we have to follow that one. Once we smell a wine, we have to identify which aroma is which one. So, I mean, if you smell chocolate into the wine, it's the tertiary aroma. If you smell bread crust, it's the second aroma. But if you smell red fruits, the red fruits is the primary aroma. And on that, you have to pick your wine that you have in the glass. So you have to check for this one, and you have to choose which wine have these aromas in his primary. How you can do it? Here I wrote down a list about the most important and the most popular worldwide grape. In the first position, we will find for sure the Chardonnay. The Chardonnay is a white grape characterized with his yellow fruits notes, tropical fruits like banana, ananas, very delicate and clean. After, we will find for sure the Merlot, a red grape characterized with his red fruits like strawberries, blueberries, strawberries even, and a little bit of spicy notes. After, we have the Cabernet Sauvignon. Cabernet Sauvignon is even another red grape. Its main notes are red fruits, as for the Merlot, but together with vanilla and leather notes. After that, we have the Sauvignon. The Sauvignon is the easiest way to recognize it. It's even the first one. Once you smell the fresh tomatoes leaves, the easiest grape. It's a white grape, very fresh and very herbaceous. After that, we have the Shiraz. Shiraz, it's another red grape characterized with his round and soft aromas, rich with red fruits, a little bit of vanilla and chocolate. After, we have my favorite, and you know which is my favorite red wine, is the Tuscan Sangiovese. What I can say, this one is probably the harder grape to guess because his smell is so powerful but even so complex. I already make a video about the complexity of the wine. If you don't know what is the complexity of the wine, I leave you the link up here, check it, because this one is another important pieces of our puzzle to identify all the part of the smelling. The Sangiovese is characterized with red fruits, spicy notes, and leather notes. In the end, you can even smell some tobacco notes. After that, we have the Malbec. The Malbec is a powerful and elegant red wine. Very mature, characterized with his sweet and spicy notes. Especially, we have lemon and we have even some red fruits. It's a very particular kind of wine. After, we have the Riesling. The Riesling is a white grape characterized with his fresh fruits, yellow fruits like lemon and jasmine. It's very floral. And last but not least, our Vernaccia. So proud of that. The Vernaccia, the queen of all the white. Today I'm in company of the king of the red and the queen of the white. And this one is characterized with fruity notes like yellow fruits, but even with some white flowers like jasmine. This wine is very delicate. It's not like the Riesling or even the Chardonnay. It's more delicate, much softer, so it's a little bit harder than the other two to identify it. It's harder even because this one it's not so popular. The people didn't know very well, but it's a wine that it's very important for us and for our history, for our place, for Italy. So I'm proud to insert into this list. So guys, these one are the techniques that I use and all the information that I use to identify the wine just by the smell and to impress my friends when we go out to have a dinner together. Meanwhile, I would like to remember one thing. Remember that the smelling of the wine, it's a training and it's a memory game. So you have to have the smell inside you. What does it mean? It means that if I never smell a tobacco's leaves or a tomato's leaves or a banana, I cannot find it into my wine. So the best things to do is to go out, take a piece of rosemary, a piece of basil and smell it and try to remember it. As I told you in another video, when I drink the old vernaccia, if you don't see the video, I leave you up here. It's very interesting because I tried old vernaccia, 40 years old, very particular. And as I tell you in that video, I always bring with me a pocket notebooks where I write down all my comments, all my review about the wine that I'm drinking, and especially about the smelling, because this one make it easier to me to remember it. Once I wrote down one thing, I never forget it. So if I have a smell, I have to write it down, make some connection, put some dots together and see if I try to remember. After I did it a few times, I am sure that I will remember and next time I will pick it into my wine. So that's all for the smelling part. I hope you like the video. If you like it, as always, thumbs up and share it. We see you next one, and meanwhile I wish you happy tasting. Cheers.